I'm Jim Benson, and you're listening to TV Time Machine. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and visit our show archives at tvtimemachine.com. Today on the TV Time Machine, we travel back to the 1980s to visit the Goldbergs. In this edition of our program, we are pleased to welcome the star of the Goldbergs, Wendi McLendon-Covey. Ms. McLendon-Covey plays Beverly Goldberg on this new series and is also known for her comic turns in the TV series Reno 911 and the hit comedy film Bridesmaids. Over the next segment, Wendi McLendon-Covey will help us explore virtually every aspect of this hilarious series, which airs Tuesdays at 9 p.m., 8 Central on ABC. Again, for those of you intrepid enough to revisit those wonder years, feel free to plug in your VCR as we hit pause in the present while we rewind our way into the past.
I'm twisted up inside, but nonetheless I feel the need to say I don't know the future, but the past keeps getting clearer every day.
Wendi, thank you for coming on board the TV Time Machine.
Thank you for having me.
Now, Wendi, you star in The Goldbergs, which airs Tuesdays at 9 p.m., 8 Central on ABC. Wendi, tell us about your show, and how would you describe your character, Beverly?
The Goldbergs is kind of a Wonder Years meets Malcolm in the Middle type of show. It's very funny, but it has a lot of heart to it, and, you know, it's about this lunatic family just trying to figure it out, you know, with kids that are growing up and parents that don't want them to grow up. And my character, you could call her a smother, which is a mother who, you know, loves her kids so much that all she can do is smother them with her attentions. And she has no sense of boundaries because they're her kids, you know. She feels like she's entitled to read their diaries and come in and stare at them while they sleep. And to her, that's not weird.
Well, Beverly would probably consider that proactive.
Yes, it's just proactive parenting.
Right.
You know, it's called loving your children, and she's not going to apologize for that.
Now, in the upcoming episode of The Goldbergs, you get some new neighbors, the Kremps. Mm-hmm. Tell us about the Kremps and how Beverly is relating to them.
Okay, the Kremps are the all-American gorgeous family with, you know, beautiful sons who do as they're told and have beautiful manners, and they're just really, really nice, calm people. And, of course, they want nothing to do with the Goldbergs. So Beverly, she cannot abide by this. You know, it's impossible to her that anyone would not like them. So she goes on this stalking campaign to get them over for a barbecue. And, you know, it ends up being a disaster. They do bond, however. If you watch the episode, you'll figure this out, and they do become lifelong friends, but it's over something completely insane. And, you know, basically, Beverly has unorthodox methods for everything she does. So.
Yes, I've seen that.
Yes, you've noticed.
Yes.
You picked up on that.
Yes. Now, tell us about working with Adam Goldberg. He created the show, and how does the show relate to his life growing up?
Well, Adam Goldberg, the creator of our show, he videotaped everything that ever happened in his house as a kid, and he's got stacks and stacks of videotapes that he's converting to DVDs. So, unfortunately for his family, we've seen all their ugly moments, or quite a few of their ugly moments, which are hilarious and make for good television. But, you know, so much of this TV show is based off of his experiences, you know, in this family, and it's all true to life. So I think that is what gives it a grounding component and makes it very believable and relatable.
So I guess for Adam's real-life family, the Goldbergs is a rerun.
Oh, yeah.
Because they say
like, we don't need to see this. We lived it. Why are you reminding us of this? But no, they're pretty happy about the show, and I've met his brothers and I've met his mom, and they're all good sports about it. You know, there are the show's biggest cheerleaders, but yeah, they you know. And honestly, we'd tone it down.
I can imagine.
If you can believe that.
Now, of course, the Goldbergs takes place in the 1980s.
Mm-hmm.
What is the thing that you miss most about the 80s?
I miss, okay, well, first of all, in the 80s, that's when MTV came into being. And I miss that, I miss the fact that they used to play videos, and they barely do that anymore.
Right.
I don't miss my teenage acne. I don't miss my teal eyeliner.
Right.
That I wore at all times, even in the swimming pool. I don't really miss the fashions, but boy, I sure get to wear them all the time. You know, but the 80s for this show, it's just a backdrop. This, you know, the characters could exist in any time frame, but they decided to keep it in the 80s because that's when Adam grew up, and, you know, there are certain things that really work for the show, like the fact that there were no cell phones at the time, so you couldn't just easily communicate with people and solve your problem right then and there. You had to wait, or you'd get a busy signal, God forbid. Or
yeah, and the good old days.
Yeah. Remember that?
Now, besides MTV, when you were growing up, did you watch a lot of TV family comedies, and did you ever imagine that one day you'd be a TV mom?
I did imagine it, and yes, it's what I always planned on, actually. But yeah, I was a TV kid. I was, you know, I knew when everything was airing, and I knew what network. I mean, I used to follow that stuff as a kid. I was a weird kid, let me say it. But,
hey, there's nothing weird about watching TV.
No, please. TV never talks back to you. But yeah, I watched a lot of TV as a kid, and I always, you know, envisioned what it would be like to have my own show, and see, here we are.
Now, of course, one of the members of your family is played by the amazing George Segal.
Yes.
What have you learned from him?
I have learned what a consummate professional does. And you know, he's been around forever. He's worked with Elizabeth Taylor, for God's sake. I mean, he's got so many movies under his belt. He's done sitcoms before. He's just a beautiful, sweet man, and he's taught all of us, you know, how to be grateful and how to enjoy every moment and how to take it all in and not take things for granted, because any of this can disappear at any time.
Right.
And this business, you know, there are peaks and valleys, and it's very hard to navigate. And he's been really, really good with our younger actors who are kind of new to all this, and he's taken them all under his wing and been, you know, so sweet to them. I love watching them together, but I pinch myself every day that I get to work with him.
Wendi McLendon-Covey, whose series The Goldbergs airs Tuesdays at 9 p.m., 8 Central on ABC. Wendi, it's been a tremendous pleasure having you aboard the TV Time Machine. Feel free to join us again in the future or in the past.
Thank you so much.